Okay, in Unit 4, we'll read communication. What I was talking, this Unit 4 tells everything about communication. How communication is impacting the organization. What are the different types of communication happens in organization and the process behind the communication. What are the barriers? All these things we'll read in Unit 4. Let's understand. First thing we'll understand what is communication, what are the different types of communication. What is communication? Let me read the definition, then we'll discuss through examples, all these things. Communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. In other words, talking or writing, and listening or reading. Good communicators listen carefully, speaks or write clearly, and respect different opinions. That means anything, any task involved in listening, writing, expressing something. It could be in form of writing, in form of mouth, in form of signals. So all that involves communication. How we are communicating others, how we are telling others. So that is communication. There are different types of communication, verbal communication, whatever you speak orally from your mouth. Verbal communication occurs when you engage, you are speaking to others, engage speaking to others. Suppose तुम पार्टी गोटे कौन कहूच क्या, that is verbal communication. You are instructing to something to someone, that is verbal communication. When you are speaking something, non-verbal communication, what we do while we speak often says more than the actual words. बेले बेले तुम्हें किसी न कहीकि भी तुम्हें तुम्हारा एक्सप्रेशन तुम्हारा फीलिंग्स जणई दियो. सपोज केतटा कोड वर्ड अच्छी किंबा ठार अच्छी तुम तुम घरे छोट जिनस गोटे कौन मागुच पानी पिया मागुच, you are giving a symbol so everyone understand. Your mother understood, your brother or sister, whoever you are asking, they understand. So whenever you are giving that signal, they understand. That means that is normal. You are not actually speaking anything. You are giving a symbol, giving a signal. So that signal says everything. That is non-verbal communication. Or you are hungry, and you want to eat something. So if you give a signal, your family members, they understand clearly what you are saying. That is non-verbal communication. Written communication, anything in a writing form. It could be a business letter, it could be a personal letter, it could be a legal letter, a bond, one agreement, anything you are writing, that is a written communication. Listening, when you are listening to someone, someone ଶୁଣୁଛ, ତମେ କେମିତି ଶୁଣୁଛ? Suppose ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ନ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ଶୁଣିଲ, ନ୍ୟୁଜ୍ 50 minutes ବସିକି ନ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ଶୁଣିଲ, ନ୍ୟୁଜ୍ର କ'ଣ ଜିଷ୍ଟ, କ'ଣ ସମରି ତମେ କେମିତି ଶୁଣିଲ? କାରଣ ଖାଲି ଟିଭି ପାଖରେ ବସିଲ ନା ନ୍ୟୁଜ୍ରୁ କିଛି ବୁଝିଲ କି ନ୍ୟୁଜ୍ର କିଛି ନଲେଜ ଦେଲା, କ'ଣ ହେଲା? That is listening skill. Anything you are listening, and there are different types of listener. Anything you are getting from your ears, that is listening skill. That is also one type of communication. Visual communication. Visual communication is similar to non-verbal. You are expressing your feelings through your body language, through your posture, through your face expression. That is visual communication. Sometimes you must have seen in the road, there are some signals, some signboards which give a picture, suppose for traffic. So from that picture, you understand something. Suppose there is a harms, there is a speed breaker, there is a zebra crossing, there is a school. So instead of writing something, some symbols are used in the road, so the drivers can understand. So that kind of communication is a visual communication. ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଯୋଉ ତମେ ଦେଖିଥିବ ଯୋଉ ଏଥିରେ ଫସଲ ଖାଇଲା ବେଳେ ବିଲରେ ସବୁ ଲଗାଇଥାଏ ଭୂତର ପିକ୍ଚର ମଣିଷ ଗୋଟେ ପୁତଳି ହେଇକି ବନିଥାଏ. That is visual communication. So the animal, the birds cannot enter into the field after seeing that. ଏଇଟା କୁହାଯାଏ କଣ ପାଳଭୂତ ଯୋଉଟା ଉଁ, ଲାଗିଥାଏ ବିଲରେ. That is called visual communication. So these are different types of communication: verbal communication, non-verbal communication, written communication, listening, and visual communication. These are different types of communication. It's another important type that is in our syllabus: one way and two way. I will give an example so you will remember. તમે ବେଳେ realize કરશો if sometimes you are telling something, you are asking something. Suppose you need a glass of water. You are telling two times, three times, but no one is able to listen you what you are telling. No one got that. So you are not getting the water. In second scenario, once you are telling, someone got it, someone listened it, and someone is telling, okay, I'll give you a water, give you a glass of water. So after 2 minutes, that person is giving a water. So there are two types of communication. The first one is no one is listening. You are not getting a water. The second one is someone is able to listen and give you a confirmation that I am giving you the water and you are getting it. So the first one is one way, the second one is two way. In the first one, you are the sender, you are giving the communication, you are passing the message, and the receiver may or may not get. So there is no confirmation, there is no feedback. So you don't know whether the person is able to listen or not. Your job is over. You are given the communication. You told I need a water. So ସେ ଯୋଉ ଘରେ ଯେତେ ଲୋକ ଥିଲେ କେହି ତମ କଥା ଶୁଣି ପାରିଲେନି କିମ୍ବା ଶୁଣିଲେ, but you are not getting any feedback. You may get some water or may not get based on the your communication. You are getting the your communication is complete. So there is no feedback mechanism, there is no confirmation in the first case. That is one way. So your communication is only one directional. You are telling and someone is able to listen. So that is one directional. In the second case, someone is giving you a confirmation and that is what you are getting the water, you are sure someone is able to listen. So there is a feedback and there is a confirmation, that is two ways. So that means you are sending the message and the other person who is able to listen, he is also replying that yes, I am getting you some water. That means there is a feedback mechanism, there is a person who confirming you. So that is called as two-way communication. So that is the basic difference between one way and two way. One way is one directional, two way is both the direction there is something happening. You are The sender is giving the message, the receiver is also getting the message and confirming the sender that I got it, what you are saying. This is an important concept in communication. This is also in your syllabus. Try to understand it. One way and two way. I have given the direction. It is actually circular. I have given in the straight line. Sender sending the message and the receiver getting the message or not getting the message. If, if not getting the message, then the communication is not complete or miscommunication, you can say. If he is getting the message, then communication is complete. In the second case, sender is sending the message and the receiver is getting the message and sending the feedback. There is a feedback following the message to the sender. I think this is the order. Okay. So the sender is sending the message, then the receiver is getting the message and feedback is coming. That is the concept behind two-way communication. Next thing, we'll understand the process behind the communication. What are the steps involved? How the communication happens? So this is otherwise known as different elements of communication, different parties involved in communication, and different functions in communication. The process behind communication. First thing in the process is the sender, who is sending the message. The sender of the communicator generates the message and convey it to the receiver. So whoever sending the message is a sender that initiate the process. That is the starting point of the communication. So who is initiating, who is sending the message? Then another element is message. The, what is that message? What is that task you want to communicate? It is the idea, information, view, a fact, feelings, etc. that is generated by the senders and then intended to be communicated further. So message is what? In the earlier example, you are thirsty. So you are asking a glass of water. The message is the glass of water, what you are speaking. So message could be anything. It could be a text, it could be an information, it could be an idea, view, fact, feeling, or whatever. What you are sending, what the sender is sending is a message. Encoding. Encoding this word, maybe you understood. In most of the cases, when you are communicating, your message is translating to a different signal, different words. So through a mechanism that is called encoding. Suppose you have seen, the best example is you have seen the ATM machine. You are giving your password or passcode or PIN number. The bank is not getting, suppose your PIN number is 1234. The bank is not getting as 1234. That 1234 is converted to a different code. It could be a signal, it could be a long digit, it could be a binary digit. Then when the back is interpreting or reading it, it has to decode. That means whatever the person is receiving other end, once after decoding is happening, then you will get the same thing 1, 2, 3. Then the message is able to understand, okay, this is the person, this is the same person who gave 1, 2, 3, 4. So encoding, decoding are two different elements of communication. That doesn't happen in all types of communication, but broadly, if you write different element, different process, so better to include those points, encoding and decoding. So any message you are giving is converted, suppose, into a different language, different signals. That is called encoding. That is one important elements of communication, encoding and decoding. Media, channel, how you are communicating. Suppose you are communicating through email, through phone, through letter. That is the media, that is the channel, that is the means you are using. Suppose you are communicating in a newspaper or writing a letter or you are speaking or giving a speech to the public through mic. So your that stage or mic is the media, is the channel, how we are communicating. Or suppose I am taking a class of yours now through Zoom. So Zoom is the media. Zoom is the your online communication is the media, is the channel. Receiver. Receiver is another element. Receiver means what? Who is receiving my communication? You are the receiver. You are the person in the chain who is getting my communication, getting my message after all these things. So receiver is one important elements, important process in communication cycle. Feedback, once the receiver get the message, so you have to confirm. You are confirming. Suppose, ମୁଁ ଜିନିଷଟା ପାଇଲି, ମୁଁ ଜିନିଷଟା ବୁଝିଲି. Suppose you are in the class, you are telling me yes or no, so I understand. Okay, you are there, you are listening, and if you don't understand something, you are asking me question, or you are asking me, requesting me to repeat. So that means I understood that you are listening, my communication is effective. So there is a feedback mechanism in the whole process. So feedback is another process in the cycle. Noise. Noise. Sometimes you will listen a lot of noise, lot of disturbance in the communication. So it could be due to any reason. There is a background noise or there is something happening in the. Suppose you are instructing your team members or you are giving a speech. Meantime, there is a loud box. There is some songs going on. Some disturbance coming in the neighbor house. ତମେ ସପୋଜ ଗୋଟେ ମିଟିଂରେ କ'ଣ କହୁଛ କିନ୍ତୁ ତମର ଗୁଡ଼ାଏ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବାନ୍ସ ହେଉଛି, ଗୁଡ଼ାଏ ବାଇକ୍ ବାଜୁଛି, ଗୁଡ଼ାଏ କୀର୍ତ୍ତନ ହେଉଛି, କ'ଣ ଭଜନ ହେଉଛି, ତେଣୁ ତମେ ସେଠି କିଛି କହିପାରୁନ, କି ଶୁଭୁନି ତମେ ଯାହା ଇନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ସନ ଦେଉଛ କିଛି ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି, ତମ ଟିମ୍ ମେମ୍ବର ମାନଙ୍କୁ କିଛି ଶୁଭୁନି. So that type of noise is also one element, one process in communication. There are different stages, senders, receiver. The key component are senders, receiver, and message. and it is there in any communication. Encoding, decoding, media, and feedback, noise. You can mention all these things. So it will complete all the different communication cycle, total 8 type of elements in the process. It will complete everything. Senders, messages, encoding, decoding, media, receiver, feedback, noise. This is the process of communication. So you can see this diagram or this picture given in the right side. So the flow coming from top to bottom, sender, then the message is coming in an encoding form, then the message, then the channel, the noise is created between the receiver and through the channel. How we are communicating, meantime the noise is created. The last decoding happening, then the receiver is getting. And the feedback is coming from last to first. That means the sender is confident that the message is delivered or received. So this is the diagram, exactly same what is written in the left side. The same diagram is given in order, how it is coming from top to bottom. So this is the process of communication. There is something barriers of communication. Different types of communication in organization will lead. So this is one small thing we can remember. Barriers of communication will lead in the next class. Semantic barriers, psychological barriers, organizational barriers, cultural barriers, physical barriers, physiological barriers. There are different types of communication in the organization: formal communication, informal communication, and there are different directions of communication. What is formal communication? Any communication due to the business transaction happening. Suppose you are writing a letter to your boss, to your manager, to your supervisor, and your supervisor is giving instruction to the team member through email or through some message. That is formal communication because that is related to work. And you are using the formal communication media, what is accepted in your organization. Formal communication, most of the times, the communication is informal. Suppose in an organization, there are different groups, different teams formed, and they communicate each other informally. There is no planned communication. You meet someone who is close to you because of you are from same state or same language, or you like him very much. He told something informally and you believed. So that carry out a lot of communication, a lot of information. So that kind of communication is informal communication. You don't plan anything, but it happens accidentally. And today I କୁହନ୍ତି କ'ଣ ଲୁଜ୍ ଟକ୍ କିମ୍ବା ଯୋଉଟା ତମେ କୁହ ଯୋଉଟାକୁ ଆମେ କୁହନ୍ତି ଖଟି କରିବା ସେ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ବହୁତ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନରେ ଚାଲେ ଯୋଉଟାକି ଆମେ ଇନଫର୍ମାଲି ଲୋକଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଡିସ୍କସ୍ କରିକି ବିଭିନ୍ନ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନକୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଇଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରିଟ କରିକି ତାର ଅଲଗା ମିନିଂ ବାହାର କରିଥାଏ that is informal communication and in organization the communication flows in different direction. Suppose communication is flowing from top to bottom, means a top manager to the subordinate, that is downward communication. Anything flowing from top to bottom, higher authority to subordinate, that is downward, and exactly opposite from subordinate to top higher authority, that is upward. Downward communication, upward communication. Downward communication is higher authority to subordinate, and upward communication is lower authority subordinate to downward to upward. So the nature is different here. The downward communication is natural or very much regular. So most of the times the higher authority gives command to the lower authority. That is downward communication. But upward communication is not natural. So if you are not free, you cannot inform or can tell anything to your superior. If you are free, if you are allowed to do, if you have that freedom, if you are okay to talk, then you can talk anything to your supervisor. That is upward communication. It depends how good you are, how free you are to the top management. Another two types of communication based on the direction is horizontal and vertical. Horizontal communication is anything you are communicating at the same level. Suppose you are a manager, you are talking to a manager. You are an employee, you are talking to another employee. You are a top management leader, so you are talking to another top management leader. That is horizontal communication. That means you are communicating the things at your own level. So you are talking to the person who are at same level. Vertical communication is to a different level. It could be higher or lower. So as the name goes, you understand horizontal means same level, vertical means either top level or low level. So the person is communicating vertically. That means either he is superior or subordinates. If the person is communicating horizontally, that means he is only talking within the same level in his same stage, same level. These are the different types of communication in the organization. In any organization, this type of communication happens and impacting the work. Formal, informal, these are broadly two types of communication. Then these four are based on the direction, how communication is flowing to different level and how they are impacting to different level. So This is the communication classification based on the organization structure, organization work culture, and the employee. Basically, employee structure. So there are another 2 3 points we'll read in the next class. This is an important topic, barriers to communication. What is actually stopping a good communication in any organization? And there are few more concepts we'll read and close this unit in the next class. Communication is one important theory and it covers one complete unit, Unit 4, which is interpersonal skill and organizational communication, which is in your syllabus. This is the order you have in your syllabus. You can go through it and write your exam in the same order. What is the process I told you? That could be one important question. And barriers of communication, this could be another question. And how communication is impacting the organization, what are the different types of communication in an organization? This could be another question. So these 2 3 questions you can prepare, and once you prepare, read it properly, it is going to help you to write a long type and short type question. This is what I told. One way and two way is one important question. This could be your short type of question, but one way and two way specifically written in your syllabus. This is definitely one important concept. You understand this one way communication and two way communication. Every class will end the class here. Next class will complete this chapter one way and two way. If there is anything pending in the communication, we'll complete in the next class. Thank you.